have with us Borja Ortega. He is the current CEO of BNP Paribas Real Estate Spain. He has held numerous positions in the sector, and as you will see, he's a great speaker, very knowledgeable, and a role model for probably many of you. Let me just put you in context just for a couple of minutes before I give the microphone to Borja. And it's that ESCP is now becoming a leader in the academia in real estate. We have about 130 students only coming to ESCP for the academic year to study real estate. We have the Master in Real Estate, 47 students from more than 17 nationalities, some of them French, but it's a very diverse master. And we have other masters, such as the Master in Hospitality with the Hotel Development track. That is now the second year of that track, very, very interesting one. We have the Master in Management Real Estate track. That is, again, our second year, and we are getting a huge increase in enrollments for that master. So overall, we have here a crowd of about 130 students, together with some bachelor students that are also interested in real estate. So we very much appreciate your time with us today and look forward to your talk. At 8:30, we're going to stop, so I will be the backup, stopping the fun, and we're going to have some cocktail for networking with you guys outside. So you want to stay here with us until 9:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaime. Oh, hello everyone, and first of all, thank you, Jaime, thank you very much, ECP. It's a great honor to be this evening with all of you. So, and first of all, I want to congratulate you. You're really, really lucky to be with all together in this group. This is experience that you will, it will be in your lives forever, not only because of all the experience, knowledge that you're going to take this year, but the people you're going to meet. And remember this word always, people, is one of the most important things that you will have to deal with in your professional life. I don't care if it's a client or a supplier or a colleague next to you, but people is a key thing of everything. So my name is Borja. I'm 47 years old. I was this morning really tired. I had a dinner yesterday night, talking about prop tech, real estate investment, technology, environmental things. Very on the news today, everything. But this morning I was really tired. I said, oh my God, and this evening I have another. But now I am with a lot of power, energy, because I love to be with people like you. It's really a change for me. I'm speaking all day with clients, investors. You should improve your yield here, your occupancy, whatever. But now we are going to talk about normal things. So this is great. My background is lawyer. I study law here in Madrid. And after my degree in law, I was so lucky to be in Brussels for a stage in the European Commission. The best thing happened there, I met my wife. She was from Galicia, and I met her in Brussels. Thanks God, we were just friends. After Brussels came the rest of the things, but there, we were just friends there. So I was supposed to be a diplomatic, to work in the European Union, something which is completely different what it's my work life today. But being there, I was asked to pass the exams of a law firm in Madrid called Garrigues. Maybe you don't know, but it's the top law firm here in Spain. And at that stage was part of one of the best companies in the world, which was Arthur Andersen. Any of you remember about Arthur Andersen? No? Arthur Andersen was the top consultancy accountability firm in the world. And you know what happened? they had a crisis about ethics and corruption with a client and called Enron, and it disappeared in a week time, all over the world, in a week time. So this is the first word you have to remember always, ethics. It has to be a driver in your life, because what you deserve, your effort after years, it gone like this, quickly. So I was a lawyer, and I was happy and lucky to be part of the real estate department. And what I did for 2 years was living in the office. That was the real co-living, not the one you're hearing today. So I used to spend, I would say, 70 hours a week in the office. It was great. Not so much fun. But that's the reason that things are changing. You now are looking for different things. When I started to work 25 years ago, we were supposed just to work, and not take advantage or experience for other things in our lives. So after 2 years doing pure legal due diligence, I was exhausted. But because I didn't like the work, and this is something very important, you have to be enthusiastic with the thing you're working, doing every day. If not, you're not in the right way. So I realized, and I said, I'm not in the right way. So before all the tech world arrived, in the year 2000, I was reading the paper, and I saw a job offer from Jones Lang LaSalle, now JLL. And they were looking for a real estate consultant. I said, what the hell, what is this? I'm gonna try. I applied, I passed everything, I got an offer, I got a job offered, I signed, and I went to my parents, said, I'm leaving Garrigues, I'm joining JLL. And my father said, what are you doing? Are you changing Garrigues, the best top law firm, for working in a Trang? He wasn't able to even spell or say the name. Say yes. And it was the best thing I did in my life, because I found my place. I found what I wanted to be, which was very much be involved in the business of real estate more than in the legal part. I have close friends today that are partners of Garrigues or of other law firms, and they love their job because they like very much what they're doing. It was not my case, so I realized I one step down, so I'm going to start again. And it was really fantastic. I spent 7 years at JLL. First 1 year in the office department, and then 6 years working in the residential investment area. We were in charge of advising clients in buying land, buildings, etc., just to do residential all over Spain. But after 6 years and a half in JLL, I had a client, and he offered me to create his family office in Madrid. He was from the southeast of Spain. So I said, yes, come on, why not? 32 years old, 33, 2 little child, come on. And again, very, very good experience. I was in charge of establishing the office in Madrid, but looking very much to invest abroad, and mainly in LATAM. So I started to travel a lot. I spent 2 years in the family office. Then my boss, my patron, he got bankrupted. August 2008. You remember what happened a few months before. You haven't heard about Enron with Arthur, but maybe Lehman you heard about Lehman. So it was not a company, it was the financial world that collapsed again, like this. And I say, oh my God, I have 2 little babies, I have to pay my bills, what I'm going to do? So okay, I need to put what is my expertise, advising people. So I got an arrangement with Colliers, which is a consultancy real estate firm also, and I was in charge of taking investors from Europe to invest in Latin America, because during the last 2 years before there, I had created a deep network of contacts in Latin, mainly in Mexico, but in all the region. I was lucky to buy a building in Buenos Aires. I was lucky to buy a huge piece of land that we put town planning in place in Acapulco in Mexico. I bought in Punta del Este in Uruguay. I bought in Panama. So it was really fun. So from the professional point of view, it was the best time of my life. I would say the more enjoyable. I really had a great experience. I remember being in such good places, but always on my own and with my little babies at home. So I'd say this is not really good, because I used to go every 2 months. I spent 15, 20 days in Mexico DF. So, and what is the conclusion of this part of my career? Is the balance. Okay, remember always, you have to try to balance your professional work with your life, personal life. You can balance with the family, you can balance with making sports, you can balance with culture, with wherever. But the most you balance your working life, you will be a better professional, okay? So I decided, stop, and I just focused on private investors in Spain. And it was again really good time, because at the end what I love is people. So being with the private clients is very different from the institutional ones. Some hate you, but others invite you to his wedding. And it happens. Even I had a client in Galicia, and once I went just to visit him at the hospital. And the daughter saw me and said, "Oh, you're here, can you stay with my father for a couple of hours? I'm going for lunch." It's like, what? So imagine myself with a client in the hospital 5 hours. But again, we do everything for clients. So after being there, I was offered to come back to JLL. And in 2014, I created the wealth management department in JLL. Inside capital markets, I was in charge with my team of advising private investors into real estate, okay? It was fun, but after 8 months there, the CEO who has offered me the job, let's say, was invited to leave the company in 8 days' time. My boss accepted an offer and leave JLL. So I was on my own there with a little bit of turbulence, and a new CEO arrived to the company. And I didn't think he was going to think about me, but after 6 months of doing normal things, and I will come back to that later, he offered me to lead the capital markets team in JLL. So capital markets, it's everything related to advising into investments. I will then explain the different areas of the real estate advisory world. So I took a team of 15 people, and the worst thing is that it was plenty of silos. So imagine 3 people in a silo, 3 in another one, they don't speak to each other. They don't know what clients were visiting one or visiting the other. They were not aware of the business one was doing. And the worst thing is that even they don't care. So they were not part of a team. And this is the second word, which is team. If you remember, the first one I have put in my speech was ethics. You remember about Enron? And now is team. Team in Spanish, it's equipo. Okay? Like Real Madrid, the best team in the world. So that's That's the other one, no? Team. Ethics and team, remember. So, after offering me the position, I said, oh my God. So I started to try to reconnect people, bring people to their essence. I believe that the majority of the people is good. I don't know any of you apart from Jaime. But I'm 100% here in the room. You are good people. You're not bad people. We have to think in the positive way of things, positive way of looking at the life. So I said, I'm going to try to deep and extract the positive things, the good things of the people. So we started to go every Thursday night to the karaoke. That was one of the first decisions. So I started to sing Julio Iglesias, everything that you can imagine. And suddenly, the second day, a girl started to sing with me. And then another one. But the best moment was when I saw all of them singing and I was just having a drink looking at them. So something is working. So in 4 years' time, we go from 15 people to 55 people from, and the effect that, it's also an effect in the business. Because we passed from 5 million euros of fees to 18 million euros of fees in 4 years' time. We passed for not being invited to pitches or to advise to clients to be market leaders in certain segments. But at the end, it was a matter of people. It was a matter of trying to be normal. And if you remember, I said I was going to come back to normal. When I'm having now job interviews, is what I most like from a candidate. And when I get asked, what did you like about this girl? I always say, for me, if I like the candidate, it's normal. Yeah, normal. Being normal today is really a very appreciated quality of a person. So remember that. Be always like you are. Don't try to change the way you are. Because if you are there, it's because of how you are, how you have developed your life, your career, etc. Okay, so in 2019, after 4 years of being head of capital markets, and after having been offered 3 times to be the CEO of JLL in Italy, and after 3 times myself saying no, said, this is something strange. Maybe the only path I have is moving to Italy with I didn't have babies at that time. I have a girl of 15, 16, imagine, and a boy of 12. And they were saying to me, hey, bye-bye, you're the one who's gonna be in Milan, and we'll stay here with mommy. You're gonna be in your own. I say, no, never again. Remember balance, okay? So I said, I started to hear in the market. At the same time, I was offered to change my position in JLL, and I became the chief commercial officer of JLL, having the responsibility to be the business developer of all the lines across and having the client relationship. And BNP started to speak with me. First time to BNP, I said no. And I said, why not? And when we were about to move and to have, again, something hit my life. My wife got cancer. It was May 2019. I was like, come on, now? Yeah, okay. So I have another job, who was the cancer of my wife. Thanks God, today everything is perfect. She's still shouting at me at the same level, arguing, loving me at the same, everything is the same. In fact, it has a positive effect, and it's said by her, not by me, okay? So it was like being fiancés again. It was like the girl I met in Brussels. So we started again, and it gave me a lot of energy. So after that, I started to negotiate again with BNP. Everything seemed to be okay, and we have talked about Enron, Lehman, and what is the third? Come on, you're clever guys. What happened in March 2020? So those are the three big moments in the in the life. COVID, I said, come on, COVID now. So I was locked down at home, working, having some interviews with BNP, and they push harder for me and say, oh, maybe these guys really want me to be there. So I I said yes, we signed. I was the first professional, I would say maybe in the real estate consultancy in Spain, to have a garden leave. So I left JLL 1st of July 2020. Sad moment, because JLL is going to be my family forever. Is where I have professional grew up and good colleagues and friends. And I didn't start it until 3rd November 2020 in BNP. So I had 4 months of happiness, not really, because there was something in the atmosphere called COVID. So I wasn't maybe allowed to do many things. I had a great summer, but then September and October, I was like in a gorilla in a zoo. I wanted to see my clients, everything, but I couldn't. And remember always ethics. If you have signed that you cannot do things, you cannot do things. So I was having talked with clients, but about Real Madrid, Barcelona, nothing about anything about professional things. So I started in November last year, and I believe that maybe 2 days after I was here speaking in this room about my career. It has changed a lot of my career in 11 months. You cannot imagine how's been the travel within these 11 months. Great. I'm really lucky, you know why? Because after so many years of working, I have learned again. I learned with 47 years old. It's something that it's really magic. So I've learned how to reshape a company, how to rebuild confidence between people, how to reconnect with your parent company, and how to manage. We were talking before, Jaime and myself, a new way of management, or the way I have to manage my counterparts with the chewing gum. I have a boss in Paris, which is my boss. He's the one who pays my bonus, so he's my boss. But then I have the bank in Spain, and there is a president of the bank, and I'm part of the management committee of the bank in Spain. So you have one day your boss taking your arm like this from Paris, and the president here in the bank like this. So I'm like a mind chewing gum. I managed to be there. So, but I like politics, which is at the end what it is. So, we had losses in the company. We had, again, people who didn't speak to each other. We had bad mood. You know, we had the kind of people that, I insist, I believe they are good people, but you know the kind of people when you arrive to a room and you say, hey, we're going to have dinner to an Italian restaurant and for drinks. Italian drinks. Okay, let's go to a Chinese. Chinese. Okay, let's go to, you choose a restaurant. Oh, I choose a restaurant. You have to choose why I. So that's the kind of people, toxic people. You have to run from that people, you know? Because the worst thing of a toxic people is not what you suffer, but is the atmosphere that create around you. So be aware very much of toxic people. And I insist they are good. You have to find the good part of them. And if not, okay, let others find. So we have reshaped things. We are in positive numbers. We are coming back to the business with the clients. They are starting to see the power of a brand like BNP. BNP is the top European continental bank. In Spain, that we don't have retail bank, okay? We are the 5th bank in Spain, and and we are battling with Sabadell. You have the three big ones, which is Santander, BBVA, and La Caixa, and then Sabadell and ourselves fighting. So what we have is, and I'm coming to the third word, a way of working in every line that we have, which is excellence. And this is the third pillar. Ethics, teamwork, and excellence. Team, in Spanish, if you remember, is equipo. So it's my theory, what I call the 3 A's. Ethics, excellence, and equipo, team. If you put that in your lives at every single moment of your professional life, you're going to succeed. You want some water? Are you okay? Yeah? Let her drink water. So, my day now is, I would say, it's changing now. I spend 70% of my time with clients, doing one thing that you always have to do, which is listen, and listen to understand the needs of the people you're talking with. That's essential. Because once you understand and you know your client, you can anticipate, which is at the end is the advantage that you need, is just anticipate. And the rest, 30% of my time, is with internal things. And being in BNP real estate, because of BNP, there is a lot of internal things, a lot of things to comply with. Again, because we are really very much worried about everything linked with ethics. Imagine if Enron or Arthur Andersen or whatever collapsed, you cannot leave anything under control. You need to control everything, because the effect at the end is very much on the business. What you don't have to do is let the functions lead the business. In my opinion, you need to put the business to lead the company and the functions beside helping in everything that you do. That's why the functions, internal people, I call them support, because they are really supporting your business. Okay, but it's very important, and maybe it's because of my background. Some companies sometimes start to be managed and lead by the internal part of the company, leaving the business aside. And without the business, a company will die. You have always to balance, again, everything. So what we do is advising clients in everything linked within real estate. You can divide clients in two kinds of clients, which are the real estate ones and the corporate ones. Real estate ones is the majority of our clients, are the investors, institutional or privates, are the developers, are the people in charge of real estate in different companies. And then you have the corporates. Corporates are companies where the real estate is not the key part of the day-to-day of the business, but is important, the real estate. Let's say, for instance, for ECP, real estate has nothing to do with his main business, which is education, but real estate is a very important part of their decisions. Where I'm going to be, which is the best part of Paris to establish my campus, etc. Or if I say the BBVA, I need a new office, a new headquarters, or L'Oreal, I need my new headquarters in Spain. In fact, we have a list to L'Oreal, their new headquarters in Spain. So that's the kind of things, the kind of clients, that we do have. Then the kind of services that we provide. And the services that we provide, it depends on the firm that you choose. If you got people like CBRE, JLL, or Savills, those are the 3 top companies in real estate consultancy by number of employees and by number of fees. No, I'm not talking about profitability, which is a very different thing. And they do everything. They do everything in real estate. They can just take a piece of land and sell it, or by the other part, they can take the furniture of you corporate and move the furniture to your new premises. Because when I arrived, I see that there was a lot of things, but we were not focusing on really what we had to do. So we are focusing in three main things, which for me are the most important things of a real estate consultancy firm. We focus in transactions, and when I talk about transactions, it's advising from you are going to be a lawyer and you're going to have your law firm and you need an office of 300 meters. So I advise you to lease that space. So from that very small but very important deal to maybe taking a Spanish developer to buy a Portuguese developer. So we can do all those kind of transactions, and in the middle there is a lot. For instance, at this moment in the company, we are selling a big logistic plot of land in Catalonia. We are selling an office building in Madrid. We are selling a portfolio of hotels across Catalonia and Valencia, doing a lot of things, okay? Then, once you leave transactions, you go to property management. What is property management? Well, at the end is once an investor has bought an asset and he has not internal people doing the property management, they took a consultancy firm to do the property management, which is dealing with the tenants, invoicing, taking care of the technical aspects, everything linked to manage properly the asset. And the third one is consultancy, research, and valuations. All of them are very, very important. I'm not taking transactions in the first stage and valuations in the last because of importance, no. So consultancy, we advise real estate or corporates in specific non-transactional needs. I want to get a deeper knowledge of how the business of logistics is going to develop in the next year, linked to the light industry. We make a report. Taking data from research, we make a report. And then we do valuations. Valuations is just, you have two standards of valuations in Spain. You have the standard of valuations regulated by the Bank of Spain, which are called in Spanish ECO valuations, eco valuations, that are those that you need to have a mortgage from a bank. We don't do that. We are not allowed because we are part of a bank. And then we do RICS valuation. This is the word you're gonna most hear, RICS, Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, which is the originally UK way of doing valuations, and is the valuations used in the institutional real estate world. If you have an institutional fund buying an asset, he's going to ask for a RICS valuation. If you have a company going into public in the stock exchange, you will have a valuation, etc. So all of them are part of the real estate consultancy. All of them are very good areas to be like a farm, you know. Once you leave ECP, and you will be the most prepared people, young people prepared in Spain to work in real estate or abroad. Proof in a real estate consultancy firm is my advice. Then you will move, if you think that your path then is an investment manager or an asset manager, you will have your place for sure. But you need to be transversal. You need to have a deep knowledge of everything linked with real estate. And a consultancy firm that I have forgotten is also organized, and this is very good, because of sectors. So I have told you service lines, transactions, property management, valuations, and consultancy, but then we are also organized by sectors. We have the office sector, we have the retail sector, we have the logistics sector, we have the really brand new, more exciting, everyone talking about is living. And what is living? Everything. You put in living everything. You put your home, you put a hospital. Here in Europe, we have not arrived, but in the States, they put prisons into living. Because at the end, a prison is a place where you live. I hope not to be there, but it's a place where you live. Okay, so living is everything where you can spend from a night to entire life. So here in Spain, we have the build to sell, build to rent, student housing, healthcare, hospitals, and inside healthcare together with elderly people, houses, hotels, co-living, micro-living, everything that you put co, it has to be there, okay? So that's what I'm saying, that the real estate consultancy, it's a good place for you to be. Then, and I will finish with this, is real estate is taking more and more importance in the investment world. In 1997, just 2% of the institutional money was dedicated into alternative investment, where is included the real estate. Just 2%. In 2017, it was 12%. Today is 15%. And the reason is very clear. Because real estate investment is beating other investments. If you buy bonds from a country or public debt, it's going to be nearly flat. If you put money, if you are private investor and you are worried about the stock exchange, shares, etc., and you want to have I would say, secure investment, if you look for a fix or you put the money in a bank, they're going to charge you. Today in Spain, you're getting charged between 0.1 to 0.4 just for leaving the money in the bank. If you go and buy a high street unit leased to Louis Vuitton in Madrid, okay, you're just going to get 3%, but the difference is huge, okay? So real estate is getting more and more importance. Not only in the investment, but also in the way companies need the real estate. It has changed a lot since I started in JLL in 2000. We never care about the environmental thing, sustainable things, governance, diversity, etc. This is a key thing today. And one of the expression that you're going to listen more and more is ESG. Remember, ESG is going to be in your professional lives. Environmental, social, and governance. And the effect is clear. You have funds, real estate funds, that don't buy buildings that they don't have minimum. You know what it is, a certification of a building? Is when you refurbish or develop a building, you have, for instance, a silver LEED, gold LEED, platinum LEED. That means it's the label of the building. So you have funds, international funds, that they don't buy if there is no a minimum of gold or even platinum building. And that means that the building complies with the environmental needs, there is carbon neutral, etc. It has a way of being developed specifically, etc. Then social. What is social? Social is nothing really clear, but social at the end is a way you attract talent. The way that companies sometimes are attracting talent to their companies is through the real estate. If you give a good atmosphere, if you give a good transport communications, a way of working with when you can, there is spaces to collaborate, etc. That is a way of attracting people. Has nothing to do when I started in Garrigues a lot years ago, when you were in a box, just working. At the end, the balance is that real estate is coming more a part of more of our lives. Okay, and finally, sustainability. You have to be sustainable from an environmental point of view, but from a financial point of view, etc. So remember, ESG is going to be in the professional real estate life for now much more years. You get different finance, you get different debt. If you have a building which is platinum, that if it's not. And even more, you won't get finance if you don't have that. So the connection is very, very important between all the dots, banks, environmental things, investors, corporates, etc. And I think that from my side, I'm going to stop talking, and I would like now to have a chat with you. So please ask me, and let's have a chat, okay?
We have like 15 minutes of Q&A. We still don't have the Real Estate Association Executive Committee ready, but so it's going to be very spontaneous from the students. Any questions about professional career, beginnings, feelings, whatever, you're welcome to ask, and both Alexandra and I will pass you the microphone. So anyone wants to take the first challenging question?
I like difficult questions.
Yep, go ahead.
I will take the first one then. My name is Shi, and I have a question for you. Because of the COVID, there's a trend of teleworking, and also there's an open space for many firms. So I assume that office are a really important part for BNP. Yeah. And how do you cope with this? And how much have you been affected by this of the COVID? Okay. And so the business model, how do you adjust it? Thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting question. I think that COVID is not a good thing at all. It's been something dramatic that had hit our lives. But remember, once everything starts to get solved, I think that we will start also, the human being, the human mentality, I think that it always forgets the bad things. But the COVID has been an accelerator for some tendencies. So before the COVID, everything, in fact, I had some meetings by Microsoft Teams before COVID. It was starting to arrive. What COVID has made is accelerate what is going to happen. I believe that companies are going to be flexible. And flexibility is a word that they need, and is what the companies need to have. They have to be as flexible as to let also some people work at the office 5 days per week, which is something of the problems that we are having now. Because you have people that say, I don't want to work at home, or even I can't work at home. Houses were not thing to be your life space and your working space. So I'm lucky myself. I have a house with a garden. I've been able to working from home from my bureau at home, from my garden. It's perfect. But imagine someone living in micro spaces or sharing a flat. What about those people? So it's no risk. I think that the office has to be an element of attracting the people, saying, when you have to work, you're going to have a good space. So what is going to happen is that there's going to be a reshape of the areas. Distance will increase. Meeting rooms won't be as they were before. They will have to be much more technical. We have learned also, and we have realized that we don't need to travel so much. You need to travel a lot of times to meet your clients, but we have to be honest, everyone. Maybe I have gone to London sometimes just to meet colleagues from the office to say, hey, we should keep pushing in this idea. Come on, you can do that by Teams. If you need to create, to be innovative, maybe the first meeting, the launching, the ramp up, you can do it personally. But then there is a lot of things, and inside the companies, that can be done virtually by Microsoft Teams or wherever. So there's going to be a change of doing. In my opinion, there's going to be a balance. In our case, we are now changing. We as a French company, and then also the mentality of the companies is very different. A French company from a UK company has nothing to do. And even here in Spain, you see the difference between companies of the same sector. You have one of the two of the three tops energy companies, Endesa and Iberdrola. Endesa said, I don't want you at the office. So home, everyone. Iberdrola said, everyone in the office. 120% of occupancy. So you see, and they are companies of the same sectors. So every company think that they are now landing, now that everything seems to be with the vaccine more clear. But in my opinion, it will be a mix between home working and office working. The good one for me is 2 days of home working, but the office for me is very important.
Great, thank you for your question. Other questions? Any side of the room?
Good evening, my name is Lucas. I just have one question regarding your career, and especially the move you made from being a lawyer in real estate and just being specialized in real estate as a consultant. What was the decision and the thing that made you change from being a lawyer at your firm, from being a consultant in real estate? What was the main thing? Thank you.
Well, there was an important factor that I didn't mention, is that being a lawyer, I was sent 3 months to an office developer as an internal lawyer because they need, and they were a big client of the law firm. So I was sent there, and I get on very well with the owner of the company and his son. And I started to go with them to buy small pieces of land, negotiate, and say, I love this. I love the negotiation. I love this much more to be in a, and the fact is that to arrive to be a partner, in my case, it doesn't worth all the way. Because you have to love the job you're doing. And for me, Sunday lunchtime, it was a nightmare. Because I was starting to think about Monday, you know? And for me today, for me going to the work, and since that day, for me going to work on a Monday, to be honest to you, all of you, it's a normal day. It's a part of my life. Maybe I'm much more tired because of the weekend and job, well, not now, maybe a few years ago more. Now I'm getting older, so I'm more tired tomorrow than on a Monday morning. But at the end is you have to be enthusiastic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. It's the same. It's a part of your life. It's your work, and you have to be lucky of that you like your work. That's the best thing of your lives, being able to love your work. I saw my daughter now. He has just started university, so that's why I'm much closer to all of you. And she has started medicine. It's just a month and a half. She just study. It's like, oh my God, 10, 11 hours a day. To be able to do medicine, the last work of high school, it's been a nightmare. It's been like studying every day. But she loves that. It's her passion. So but then it's being passionate. And when I was in the law firm, it was like a knife in my heart every single minute. So I cannot stay here. This is not the life I want. Because if not, I'm going to be a sad people in life. I won't have balance. Imagine what a husband I would have been. What a father. If I'm happy at the work, you will be good at the other aspects of your life. So it was a very personal decision. Thank you.
The last question, and we have Dan too.
Hello, my name is Guillaume, and my question is, you've been through many crises in your life, and my question was, what is your mindset to go through, for example, the 2008 crisis or the COVID crisis? What is the things you ask yourselves and you tell your employees?
Yeah, yeah. And you have just passed your first one, but I assure you that you will have more. I had three main crises. First one was the one of the dot-com in 2000. That, to be honest, it didn't affect me very much. It passed, and it was quicker than the other. I'm going to finish in the worst one. This one, it's been a worldwide crisis, so everyone was on this. And it was a health crisis, much more than a financial crisis. So we were also affected, that I was like aware or worried not only about work, but all the aspects of my life. And it's been very difficult, on the personal being. My sister, she's a psychologist, and I think that she has a huge queue of people to go to her, to see her and speak with her. So it has really affected a lot of people and the human being, and there is a lot of people. That's why I say you're lucky, you're all together, but there is a lot of people alone in the world. So it has affected very much on the personal. And for me, it has affected much more on seeing some colleagues in the work, not because the work was not on the tables, because everything was stopped, not because we don't have business. It was more on seeing people really suffering and really sad. But the big crisis that we had from 2008 until 2013, that was huge. It was amazing. I had weeks with nothing to do. Imagine a Monday to Friday with no meetings planned. Because you said, hey, do you want to invest? What? Invest in Spain? I'm still running to get out of Spain, and you're telling me to invest in Spain? Yeah. But always try to think and see the positive things. I didn't mention. In 2009, I was so bored that I created a refurbishment company for refurbished flats with two other people. I sold my stake in 2012 because I started to think that maybe the real estate was taking better. I had 14 employees. It was a nightmare to earn a single euro. You have to pay so many taxes, so whatever. And I didn't like it because refurbishment, you need three things. First, get the job, then get well done, and third, get paid. So it was really, 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 really tough. And again, it was not my passion. I was not enthusiastic. When I had a meeting about the company of refurbishment, I was going there like, come on. So the crisis of 2008, the worst thing was that we were all saying that, yes, the prices are high, but come on, well, Lehman Brothers, it's a bank, they were not doing things properly. And suddenly, summer 2008, I was caught my job. I went, and this is it doesn't matter, don't worry. It was a very impact experience in my life. The good thing is I have just told you the very good things, but I had also bad things. I went to the unemployment queue, August 2008. And I was like with my tie, whatever, and people was looking at me. That's an inspector. No. I'm here to ask for a job. But it was at the end, very good experience because it put you down. In 6 months, I passed from flying from Madrid to Mexico in a private jet, in a Global Bombardier Express, great experience, to go to the unemployment queue. And when I moved to Colliers, I started to travel, because if I was allowed to be traveling with the chickens, with the luggage, I would have go. If it cost me 3 less euros. So I moved from there to there, at the end you have to adapt. That's the word, to get adapted to the things that come to your life. Because some things you can control, but others not. Others not. I was supposed to travel to Paris on the 14th of September of September this year. I was going to meet Laurent Boucher, which is my boss and number 2 of BNP Real Estate in the world. I was traveling on the Tuesday. I was like, come on, we're doing things well. I'm gonna be in Paris, like saying, come on, Laurent, have to push. On Monday, my mother fell down and broke the hip, and she went to surgery, so I haven't gone to Paris. It's something I can control? No. You have to just adapt. Laurent, I'm sorry, I have to be with my mother. Of course, this is what you have to do. So, coming back to that crisis, it made a lot of people to have to adapt, and some people was not able to adapt and to anticipate of what was going to happen. So I still today, 2021, knowing people that are suffering from that crisis. Okay, so that was really, it has a lot of an impact, and it was a financial and very much based on real estate, and especially in Spain. Everything collapsed here, everything. You can offer to buy an iPhone for €2 and say, sorry, go. And today, you take the iPhone and you said, €1,000, 1,050, 2,000, and you finish selling for 10,000. So the change is very quick also. The recovery was very quick. The point of recovery was Goldman Sachs and Blackstone buying flats in Spain in summer 2013, and then all the institutional investment came after. That's why those funds, which are very criticized sometimes, are very necessary, because are the ones who start to move the wheel. Okay?
Okay, well, unfortunately, we don't have more time. I saw some of you raising your hands, but we're going to have a 30 minutes now break. Also, it's meant for you. We have some catering outside waiting for you, small snack, but it's a very good opportunity for you to do networking, all of you that love real estate. So let me have the last words, and to thank you, Borja, so much for your time. It has been really exciting. I love the end. Those stories that show that resilience is very important in life. I'm sure that I noticed that how that got the attention of the students. Let me say a few words about connect very much our promise to Borja. First one is that Borja is not by coincidence number 1 speaker we have at RIAS. He's supposed to do the kickoff, and I'm very happy to announce that he's going to be teaching in the Master Real Estate program, Real Estate Consulting, the second term. So we are really excited to have you on board, Borja. Second thing is that Borja is going to now lead what we call the BNP Paribas Real Estate Roundtables with ESCP. So as you may know, we have our strongest partner in real estate with ESCP's BNP Paribas Real Estate. And he was very nice to basically lead those roundtables. So he's going to also not only speak to you guys about what is worrying you or trends in real estate. It's like a friendly conversation, but also going to bring some guest speakers. In addition, we have some similar for executives that we try to make the Spanish sector more professional as well. So that's all I wanted to say. You did a lot of a great introduction to real estate to many of our students, including bachelor students that are here today. So I appreciate that we have developed like great certificates for them to go deeper into real estate. So a big thank you to you. We have a small gift on behalf of all our students. We want you to be one of us. We have made a partnership with Lacoste as well. So now it's a ESCP Lacoste gift for you.
Thank you very much.
And now we have some snacks waiting for you outside, so please join us and free to approach a little bit to Borja. It's going to be a little bit later. Thank you.
Gracias.